Hey guys, welcome to our first webinar series for our Facebook group, Market Like a Pro. My name is Ric Cruz Jr. and I will be your moderator for today. I am a digital and print marketer here at Pro Value Media for over 16 years. I have worked with clients in several industries ranging from health and wellness, nonprofits, restaurant, transportation, hospitality, as well as the wedding industry, just to name a few. We have helped launch print campaigns with flyers, brochures, direct mail, as well as rolling out digital campaigns, including websites, e-commerce, email marketing, video, and social media management. So I wanted to start off and say that this has been a long time coming. The truth is we've had this idea for quite some time. For the past year, we've been making short videos and blog posts and topics on branding, marketing, printing, direct mail. It has been fun, and truthfully, we've always felt we can do just a little more. So we decided to create this Facebook group web series where we can talk about doing business in our community and, more importantly, how to brand and market your business. We'll also be collaborating with other industry leaders to talk about doing business in 2020. Now, we would love to talk to you about all the digital and print marketing resources that are coming out to you, but it would be very strange not to mention our current state in dealing with COVID-19 locally and its global impact that it's making. Over the past 2 to 3 weeks, I have reached out to many of our clients via text, calls, Zoom, WhatsApps, messengers, you name it. And many of them, including myself, are struggling to keep up with all the new ordinance and mandates that are our city and the state, and especially with all the misinformation that could be floating around on social media. This week, our city rolled out new precautionary measures that will last a little longer than we originally thought. And the big question on everyone's mind is, what are we going to do to stay open? And how are we going to pay our employees? So to help with that, I wanted to bring on one of our first guests, and her name is Jessica Olivares. She is the CEO of Hire Right Now Staffing. Just a little bit about her. Jessica and her team at Hire Right are committed to bringing livable, sustainable wages and benefits to the workforce hired through her agency. With over 10 years of human resource and safety management experience, Jessica has been helping making things run efficient and effective for small and large labor workforces. She is a native Estonian, but proudly raised in Laredo. Jessica is committed to bringing positive change to the local workforce. And today she'll be talking to us about COVID-19 resources for employers and employees. So without further ado, Jessica, how are you today?
Good. Thank you, Rick, for inviting me to be a guest, your first guest on this program that you're starting. And I'm excited just to pretty much bring awareness, right, to the community of Laredo and what's available to all the employers and employees out there, especially through this time that we're going through.
It has been rough for everybody. And I know everyone's had a lot of adjusting to do.
Definitely. And that's why I thought it was so important to pretty much put together some of those resources that are available to employers to pretty much, right, so we could all know how or what programs are available, what loan programs are available to employers. So I want to go ahead and start, just to explain some of the programs and give everybody a brief summary of each one, what they entail, and then just basically take it from there.
Excellent. Go ahead.
Okay. So then, well, obviously, right, we all know that due to COVID-19, the Trump administration signed into law the CARES Act. The CARES Act secures funds to help small businesses and American workers. $376 billion is available in loan programs through the SBA, which is the Small Business Association. The Small Business Association has 4 different loan options. So option number 1 is the Paycheck Protection Program. Option number 2 is the EIDL Loan Advance. Option 3 is the SBA Express Bridge Loan, and option 4 is the SBA Debt Relief.
Excellent.
So I'm going to go ahead and just give, I'm going to go into each one of them and just give a brief summary of each.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so the Paycheck Protection Program, which is option number 1, this is a loan The loan is a direct incentive for small businesses to keep their workers on payroll. So exactly what it explains. So this loan, they're making it available for employers to keep workers on payroll. SBA will forgive loans if all employees are kept on the payroll for 8 weeks and money is used for payroll, rent, mortgage, interest, or utilities. You can apply through any existing SBA 7 lender, federally insured depository institution, federally insured credit union, and farm credit system institution that is participating. Consult with your local lender to find out whether they are participating. I quickly, on SBA.gov, I checked to see what local lenders are participating for the Paycheck Protection Program, and 3 of them came up, which was the Falcon International, Commerce Bank, and International Bank of Commerce. Applications will begin processing April 3rd, 2020.
Wow,
And
tomorrow.
the program, yeah,
Tomorrow,
exactly.
today.
Today, wow. Yeah, no, today. And the program is available through June 30th. So that's the Paycheck Protection Program.
Excellent. And you were saying that there's about 350 billion available for that?
Let's see, on this one, no, 376 billion is available in funds in total for the CARES Act. That was passed through the Trump administration, passed the CARES Act that 376 billion dollars in funds were made available to fund basically, right, these loans that are being made available to everybody.
Excellent, excellent.
So then on the option number 2, which is your EIDL loan advance, which is and it stands for Economic Injury Disaster Loan Emergency Advance. So this loan advance is up to $10,000. The loan does not have to be repaid. So I want to go ahead and reiterate that, right? That the loan does not have to be repaid and the loan advance is up to $10,000. This loan is to help overcome temporary loss of repaid revenue due to COVID. Funds are available within 3 days of a successful application. So that's great.
Yeah, that's
especially for any for any business that's struggling with cash flow. This is a great option. And then the program is for any small business with less than 500 employees, which includes sole proprietorships, independent contractors, self-employed persons, private nonprofits, and 501c19 veterans organizations.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, yes. So businesses in certain business sectors may have more than 500 employees if they meet SBA standards for these industries. So I think that as we're going along and as the days are passing, they keep modifying or changing guidelines. So before, from what I had understood, it was like if, you know, the qualifying factors was 500 employees or less. So now I see that it says businesses in certain business sectors may have more than 500 employees if they meet SBA standards for these industries. So,
sure. And just, sorry to interrupt you, Jessica. I just wanted to mention something. I know earlier today, we've been in talks with the chamber, and there'll be one of our guests later on, and they actually came up with an infographic that kind of was going through what you mentioned, and I just wanted to see if it was okay with you. I can put it up on the screen. I'm not
yes,
sure
definitely.
It looks like this. I'm not sure. Can you see that?
Yes, yes, yes. Perfect.
So yeah, this is kind of like pretty much going over what you said, and just so people can have a little visual representation. And again, sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
No problem. So then basically on this end, lenders begin processing loan application for this loan that I was talking about. The lenders begin processing as well applications today, April 3rd, 2020. And where to apply for this loan is the SBA.gov website.
Excellent, excellent.
And then you have your third option, which is the SBA Express Bridge Loan. On this one, any small business that currently has a relationship with an SBA Express lender can get access to $25,000 quickly. On this loan, it could be used to bridge a gap while applying for a direct EIDL loan. It has fast turnaround time. It will be repaid in full or in part by proceeds from the EIDL loan. And the pros about this one, and basically what I mean on what I just explained there on the SBA Express Bridge loans. So let's say, for example, you need a quick access to cash, right? To cash flow. And you're already working with a bank that is an SBA Express Bridge loan. Let's say, for example, you're working with Chase, and Chase is a Express Bridge loan lender. So pretty much you would apply for your Express Bridge loan. If you qualify, you qualify up to $25,000, and then you apply for the economic injury disaster loan emergency advance. That one is up to $10,000. So you can use the funds from the economic injury disaster loan, which is $10,000, to repay back part of the Express Bridge loan. So the Express Bridge loan is $25,000. So then you would actually only be repaying part back, which would be $15,000. I don't know if I explained myself.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. You're using one loan to kind of cover the other.
To cover the other. And remember, on the economic injury disaster loan, you don't have to repay it back. So that's why you can use the proceeds from that loan to apply it to the Express Bridge loan if the Express Bridge loan is the route you go, right? And then you wouldn't have to repay back the entire $25,000. You would only end up paying $15,000 back.
And I also heard today that Texas Workforce was talking about that the EIDLs, that those loans, as of right now, there's like about somewhere like around 10 billion available for that, but that there is a funding cap so that basically businesses need to jump on it now. Is that correct? Because I mean, there will be a cap on that. Once it's gone, and there's no more.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that I also reiterate, to everybody that I talk to and I discuss these loans, especially like you just mentioned, the economic injury disaster loan, is that there is a cap. There is only certain funds available for these programs. So that's what I ask people, exactly what is it that we're waiting for? Like it's either you're going to apply for it, you need it. If you don't, great. But if you do, it's today is a day to do it, to start applying for these funds, because once they're gone, they're gone.
Wow. Yeah. So it's whoever's watching, now's the time. We'll put some links in the bottom later on so people can kind of see where to go, and that way we can go from there. But from my understanding, it's like sba.gov, right? And there's like a little banner on top or something like that.
Yes.
Perfect.
So. Yeah, and then one of the things that I just failed to mention and that I want to bring up with the SBA Express Bridge loan is that one of the pros about this loan is that lenders tend to lend at higher risk borrowers, because the SBA Express Bridge loan is not funded by the SBA, but it's backed by how can I say it? It's money that's backed by the government. So the lenders know that for any reason that money is defaulted on, the government will repay back the lender for that amount. So, it's just one of the pros that I could throw in there for the SBA Express Bridge loan is that I know a lot of people worry about, does my credit score need to be perfect? And that's why I mentioned that. Because everybody hears SBA loans and they're like, oh, there's all these guidelines or there's all these requirements. My credit score needs to be nearly perfect. And that's why I just, I mentioned that quickly.
Excellent.
And then on the fourth option loan is the SBA debt relief. So the SBA will pay the principal, interest, and fees of current SA loans for a period of 6 months. So that's basically the SBA will pay the principal, interest, and fees on current regular SBA loans. And then the SBA will also automatically pay the principal, interest, and fees of new 7A loans prior to September 27, 2020. Let's see. And then resources for employers, the SBA loan, no. So then that was pretty much it. That's the loan options that people have available. And then I also wanted to throw in that I know since a lot of workplaces are kind of, you know, we're seeking guidance from, you know, from the federal government or from just, you know, our local authorities or state agencies to guide us as to what we can do and how to basically handle this new world, right? This new workplace now that we need to provide for our employees. So one of the things that I found that was great was that OSHA, which is the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, offers standard guidance on their webpage regarding COVID. So if you want to know things and you know, just some guidance as to what you should have in the workplace, what you should follow, it has some guidance there on their webpage on how to keep your workplace safe and what measures, right, you can take to pretty much have a safe workplace.
Excellent, excellent.
And then, and just quickly, so then I wanted to just go ahead and first, right, maybe do like this phase one that we're talking about employers, but just to quickly mention what is available to employees. There is the disaster unemployment insurance that's available through TWC, which is Texas Workforce Commission. They can go onto their website and get more information on it and apply through them for the disaster unemployment insurance. And then there's also different things that are passing or that are happening as far as for the Department of Labor. Families First Coronavirus Response Act, that one is requires certain employers to provide employees with paid sick leave or expanded family and medical leave for reasons related to COVID-19. So on these two, I think next time we get together, I can go ahead and go more into detail as to you know, what they're about and how does this affect employers and employees.
Absolutely. I know right now, just right now with all the information, I've been jotting down notes, and it's a lot to take in. It's kind of like, where do I start? But at least it's a start, you know. Before I know, like I said, I mentioned earlier, I've reached out to different clients of ours, and everyone's just like, you know, how are we going to keep the doors open? And, you know, they don't want to let them go, and everyone's hearing different things. And at least here, there's like you mentioned, at least 4 options, I believe, is what you covered.
Yes.
For employers, and it's a lot to take in. So definitely we'll have to meet up again for the second part for this, because I know employees are going to want to know how to do these things as well, and we can probably, you know, do this pretty quickly, coming up pretty soon, but for a later time, of course. While I have you here, I had reached out to several friends and clients that I was going to be talking to you, and they were like, "Oh, ask her this and ask her this," and I was like, "Well, hold on." I was like, hold on, let me see what we can do here. I'm sure she's going to answer a bunch of questions already, and some of the questions that they had was like, and you kind of already covered it, but I'll mention it anyways. You mentioned some of the eligibility as far as for some of these loans, and one of the ones that I heard you like you mentioned, was the economic injury disaster loans. You mentioned that those are forgiven, and you said those are
Yes.
those standards, right?
So on this one, let me go ahead on this one. Okay, so on the economic injury disaster loan, that one has a quick turnaround time. If you have a successful application and it goes through, you will get $10,000 made available to you. And then on this one, I didn't find any information where it says, you know, this has to be your particular credit score or anything. But I want to say that because of the amount, I want to research more onto it before I say anything that isn't true. But the loan advance is up to $10,000. I don't have a specific, you know, credit score. It's all based on the loan processor and the different factors that they're looking into.
Okay.
But it, you know, it's pretty broad information that's just, you know, being made available. But I see that the people that they're including, right, to apply for this loan, which is, you know, sole proprietors, independent contractors, self-employed persons, private nonprofits, and veterans organizations. You know, I would think, right, I would believe just based on the criteria and everybody that they're including, is that it's not going to be some extensive, rigorous, you know, guidelines that, you know, you need to meet, because they're obviously trying to really help a large, wide, right, of groups of people, of businesses. So, you know, that's just my personal belief from reading on the guidelines and everybody that qualifies under it,
Yeah,
or is eligible for it.
absolutely. Let me see here. Well, I have you on the phone. Sorry, on the phone. So used to saying that. Well, I have you here on teleconference Zoom, everyone's new favorite app.
Right.
We'll talk about that in a bit, but I know this has been one of my favorite ones to use. It's just very user-friendly. But I wanted to share something with you, kind of what you were talking about right now. And can you see that screen right there?
Yes.
Perfect. So this is the SBA.gov, just for everybody that's looking to see where to go, what the screen looks like. It's pretty, obviously with everything going on, they have made it very easy to navigate through. So from my understanding, all you got to do is click on just funding programs, and you'll be able to see the coronavirus relief options, which is takes you to that, to all the options that you were talking about right now.
Yes.
Obviously, this is something that everyone has to go through, and I remember one of our conversations earlier this week, you mentioned that this is something that you also provide a service for, that you can help them with this. Obviously, there is a fee for that, but you can help these businesses navigate through this loan process. Is that correct?
Definitely, yes. So on the one that we're providing assistance with is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Emergency Advance Loan. So that is the only one that we're providing a service to the community. And I don't know if you can go back to the SBA.gov page and try to see if we can click on it just to go briefly over it so people could see. Oh, there we go. The loan events, EIDL loan events.
There you go.
And then I think if you scroll down and you click on Get Disaster Loan.
This one right here?
Yes. Let's see if it takes you to.
Yep.
Okay, and then click here. Oh, there, to the loan, click here. Like if we're gonna apply, just to give people a, if you go further down. Oh, you passed it, sorry.
Oh, here it is.
I
see it.
No, it's further up.
Here we go.
Here, there, up. Okay, yeah.
So
Is that
right
one?
here?
Yes, that one.
Okay, I'm gonna highlight it for everyone just so they can see, because I know there's a lot of things in here. So this is what we're looking at, people. And click right here. I'm gonna just click on this, and that way you can start going into the process. Now, again, as I mentioned, this is something that everybody, employers need to do on their own. But in case you need any help, Jessica will leave her number at the end, so that's something she can help you with, of course, for a as a service for you guys. Is there anything else that I'm trying to think of what other questions I had here? Let me see here. You pretty much covered all the questions. I had a couple of questions, and as you were, talking, you were kind of knocking them out. So you kind of answered everything in there. Let me ask you something else. If I'm sorry, if you're done already. What I wanted to mention or ask you is, how are you navigating? Not navigating. How are you marketing your business right now? Especially, there's a lot of businesses right now that are obviously in shelter and quarantined, and they can't go out. Not every business can go out. Some are essential. Some have to stay home, and I'm not sure. From my understanding, you've been staying at home and basically operating from home for your safety and your staff. Is that correct?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I went into lockdown on my own day one. As soon as there was a one positive case, I went into lockdown. No, but yeah, no, I have been working from home. And I know it's very different, obviously, from having the office, just having the office feel, and you go to work and you're there at your office and all that, and it's different, right? Now that we're home and we're having to navigate from a different place and just adapt to something completely different.
Yeah.
But pretty much, yeah, no, but one of the ways that I feel that I've always been a firm believer of social media. Like, since I opened my business, I've always believed, I mean, who isn't on social media, right?
Yeah,
Especially more than, especially more now, right? That we're all home and there's just more time to be, yes, you work and you have whatever you need to do, but everybody's going virtual. I mean, you see so many classes, you see gyms, you see like a lot of businesses are going online. And so that's how I continue to push, my business, my name, and everything, and just pretty much my business, right? That's how I keep pushing it out there, is just remaining consistent. In just having a presence, a consistent presence on social media is very important.
No, and it definitely helps. I mean, I know us ourselves. I mean, here we've been working. Most of our staff is working remotely, and we still have some people here. We are taking the precautions, wearing masks and sanitation, wiping down everything. Our lobby is closed, but still, we have to still come in, and we're working shorter hours, of course, here at the office. But like you said, it's definitely an adjustment that everyone has to do, and we've just been rolling with the punches. One of the things I was talking to several customers about, because they were just like, well, there's nothing to do. I don't want to watch Netflix. And I was like, well, great. I mean, I was like, here's a quick pro tip, use this time to learn a new skill, read a book, watch a webinar, plan your next move, spend time with your family. Or like you said, like, if you're on social media, hey, instead of like scrolling through memes and stuff, why don't you create that Facebook page for your business and get a little more about it and see how it works. And, the worst thing that can happen is, you put the wrong post and you delete it,
Exactly.
So that's something that I was encouraging business owners. I know here at Providing Media, we do social media management for different industries, and but we always tell people, like, here, this is what you can do. Here's the low-hanging fruit or the free tips that you can do to get started. The important thing is, what I hear a lot from clients is they tell me, like, well, it's because I'm afraid I'm going to do this, I'm going to look like this and this and that. And I always tell them, like, look, it's no one's perfect. You're never going to get it just right. The important thing is just to get started. That's one of the things that we mentioned, and it's true. And especially right now, you see even a lot of the bigger digital marketers that are doing the same thing that we are. They're out of their homes, and forget the great lighting and the studio lights and stuff. They're just like me and you, standing behind at home or a home office, just behind a little quick screen. And that's a good way to start,
Exactly. No, and I agree with you so much. And, the only thing that I would add to that would be that I think, survival of business has always, in my own personal view, right, of how I see things, is it always has to do with how quickly can you adapt. How quickly can you adapt? And we're in a completely, right now, different world. We're dealing with something that none of us have ever had to deal with. But the show continues, things need to continue, and we need to not stop business completely and just freeze up. Things have to continue. We need to adapt. We have the situation in front of us that we have, and we just need to move on. What resources, the way we need to look at it is, what resources do we have available and in front of us to keep going? And that's, again, I go back to, there's get online and learn different skills, learn different, there's so many applications out there, apps that can help you in your business. Facebook, LinkedIn. A lot of people don't have a LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn is crucial for business. I know that I've gotten a lot of leads through LinkedIn. So, that's a free tip that I'll throw out there, is that get a presence for your business or yourself on LinkedIn, because you can reach a lot of people that you would think that you wouldn't be able to through LinkedIn.
I agree. I agree. I've used LinkedIn for, I don't know, over 6-7 years maybe. And more recently, in the last 2 years, you've been seeing a big increase in LinkedIn, and more people using it. And it's exciting. It's very exciting because everyone's trying to get into it. And it's basically, it's Facebook for business for people who don't know what LinkedIn is. And if you don't have it, just like I said, I recommend you get it. Put yourself in there, start your company page in there as well. It's not Facebook for sure, but it is somewhere that you need to start, because eventually people will start looking like that, going out there and looking for you in those places. And again, LinkedIn for us has been very, very big, and like you said, crucial for finding those new leads and finding another audience to talk to versus your friends and family that might be on Facebook only.
Exactly. And then also on LinkedIn, you get a lot of different tips from different companies, right, or other people that are doing different, just approaching the same type of in your same type of business or in your same line of work, but that have different ideas or approach it in a different manner that just, you never would think to do it, that way or anything like that. So you can get on LinkedIn, and it helps you just to, it gives you a lot of creative ideas, and you meet a lot of people, and there's a lot of different networking groups that can help you build and grow yourself professionally and personally. And that's what I loved about LinkedIn. It just pushes you.
No, I agree with that. We actually started our web series of tips and stuff actually on LinkedIn, and we just felt we wanted to make it a little more broader, and that's why we went to other platforms. But like I mentioned to you, like all those social media platforms, they're free, guys. Take advantage of them. You have time.
Exactly.
You have time to get it done. Once you get everything out of, obviously not everyone has time, but once you get all the important stuff out of the way and things are a little calmer, and once the dust settles, you can absolutely carve out some time just to do that and to better yourself and the company that you're bringing up. On the screen, I wanted to mention, I put these resources. There's a lot more resources, guys, coming up, and we're putting this information as soon as fast as we can get it and put it together. But I did want to give a quick shout out to some of these agencies that are putting things together. Like I said, everything is moving on really fast. Nobody knows where everything is going, and everyone's kind of, what you said, just going day by day. But these are some of the websites that I wanted to mention. If I may, Laredo Chamber of Commerce, they built a website pretty much over the weekend. They built it really, really quickly. They launched to it really fast. And the website is called LaredoCovid19.com. And the website is still getting updated, but there's still a lot of information there that people can get. There's some guidance there for any entrepreneurs and business owners to see where they're going to go and that's one of the places. The second one is Mile One. I'm not sure. I know you've been there before. I've been
Yes.
a couple meetings there. But the people that don't know, Mile One is a nonprofit organization, a very unique nonprofit organization here in Laredo that helps out small businesses with marketing and business in general, with business plans and a whole range of things. I'm not doing it justice, but they're very, very helpful. Of course, I also put texasworkforce.gov because I know that's some place that people are going to want to look for. And of course, for local stuff, you know, there is the news and things out there, but me, I prefer going to the city of Laredo. That way, you know, you get the most up to date from them, not your neighbor.
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, they're great and everything, but there is a lot of misinformation out there, and that's one of the things that I wanted to mention. And while I'm on that subject, and I didn't put it in there, but you yourself also started a COVID-19 Laredo support group for the public, and man, I remember, I mean, in one weekend, pretty much, you grew it from 0 to like, what is it now, 17,000 that you're at right now?
No, I want to say I haven't checked. The last time I checked was 19,000.
19,000. That's
19,000. Yeah.
That is,
no,
and
it keeps. Yeah, no, and it keeps growing and it keeps growing. And that's one of the things, and one of our missions was that when I started this page and then I brought in moderators, it was like the thing that we need to stick to. And why I created this was also to make sure that we eliminated hearsay. It was like, I know that especially in this really critical time, correct and facts are very important, because misinformation can, it could risk a lot of people's lives. And
no, yeah, you're absolutely right. And just to kind of, add to that, I reached out to several business owners this week or the last 2-3 weeks, and it happened a couple of times to them that they told me like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do now. I'm going to close. It's a restaurant, and I'm not going to mention the name, but this particular restaurant has 3 locations, and someone sent them a flyer saying that they weren't essential, and they were just like, well, close the doors. Let's see what we're going to do. And I was just like, wait, no, like, stop. What do you mean? And they're like, well, we can't do business anymore. And I was like, yes, you can. I was like, here, and I had to show it to him, and he still didn't believe me. And I was just like, and he was like, well, let me call the health department. So he did, and the health department told him like, yes, you can definitely operate and this and that. And
wow.
And it's just amazing what people are going for, And one of the reasons why I loved your support group that you have, I'm trying to pull it up on Facebook so you can share it with everyone.
Yes.
And this is for everyone. It's not just businesses. But what I loved about that you were doing on that is that you were allowing only facts, from reputable sources, not your cuñado or your cuñada or your comadre talking about, what I heard. No, this is straight from
either the city. Yeah, it's either coming from the city, anything that's posted on the city webpage, anything that's posted on the Webb County webpage, things that are released by the CDC, state agencies, the governor's website as well, anything released through his office, and things like that. Again, just facts, so people can know that, hey, well, it's because my cousin or my friend told me this or that, or no, we're not going to post that. It's strictly facts,
There, it just took me a while to get to it, but I got it.
Awesome.
So yeah, this is for anyone watching. Feel free to join. It's just it's a very, very informative group. It's just the community ourselves talking about COVID-19, about what's going on with everything, and like Jessica mentioned, it's all facts and positivity, and that's kind of what everyone needs right now. It's just that again, facts and positivity. I can't stress that enough. What is going out there right now,
Exactly. And I think that's what, and we've had our bumps in the road as well with You know, I think that some days people get frustrated. You know, there's days that we're good and we're being positive and all that. And then kind of like the shift, the mood shifts. And then I see a lot of people, you know, posting different material from the prior day where it was really positive. Then the next day it's very gloomy or just very, you know, just very different.
Yeah.
But one of the things that we're working is constantly trying to only approve material that's positive, right? We know that not everything's perfect and that not everything's going to be happy. But what we want to do is we don't want to sensationalize the situation and what we're all going through. We don't want to cause any anxiety. We don't want to make things, you know, we don't want to add to the stress. We're all stressed out enough.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the page where you can find references as to where you can, you know, and one of the things that I'm also trying to encourage is, I know one of the things right now is where can I find masks? Where can I find gloves? Where can I find this and that? And in order for us to look out for the public safety and not have so-and-so that's selling masks, right? You can go ahead and post it on here. What we want to do is local businesses, and that's why I encourage also small little businesses, medical supply businesses. Hey, if you're selling them, you have them available, you can advertise on this page. And not advertise, you can post, because it's not like we're charging anything for small businesses to put up whatever they need to. Because we have a demand. A lot of people ask, where can I buy, you know, who's selling food right now, or what restaurants are available.
Right, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because like I said, it really is, I'm kind of going to try to wrap this up real quick, but, you know, kind of what you mentioned, like, you know, we're all in it together, and it's basically the community helping each other. You know, obviously there has to be some type of community and something that puts us together, right? And this COVID-19 is one of those things that is going to hopefully push us together in that sense.
Hopefully. That's the mission, to pretty much, it's like if we were out in a, you know, in a community setting, you know, it's kind of like if we'd be out there in a park and we're all hanging out and talking, and there's all these different things going on and information and this and that and people sharing.
Sure.
That's kind of like, but it's the virtual version of that.
Right, and I just wanted to kind of wrap things up already, because I know we're running on close to the hour here, and I kind of wanted to see how can people reach out to you. I know you have, like I said, you have that service where you can help out people with the SBA process and other stuff. Of course, staffing when everything comes back to normal. You know, that's something that people are going to want to know. So how can they find you?
Well, they can find me direct. Well, one of the ways that I was advertising is they can contact me directly to my they can contact me through Hire Right Now Staffing. They can go ahead and call the number to the office, and they can contact me there. I don't know if it comes out.
It should be in the call now button, I think so.
Yeah, it should. And all calls are forwarded to myself, so I should be able to get all the calls to myself. There we go. Yes, the 956-462-7007. They can call that number, and that all calls are forwarded to myself, and I will be able to reach out to them to answer any questions. Also, they can reach out to me. I know I created this this new email, and I'm trying to remember right now, but I can't. I want to say it's SBA loans. No, I can't come up with it right now.
No worries. We could go ahead and put it in there later, and anybody can email us, and we can reach out to you guys and about any information that's going on there. So yeah, again, Jessica, it was really fun talking to you, and I'm looking forward to the next one, because I know there was a lot of information that you gave us, and like you mentioned, there's plenty more on the employee side that you had to give, and it's just a whole other conversation, right? It's just, you know, one thing at a time.
Yes.
You know, so one thing I wanted to mention to our audience is to stay tuned for our next series in the next few days. As I mentioned, we are going to have Ms. Jessica back and talking about other stuff as well. But we have also a lot more content, tips, and guests lined up that are going to help us navigate through these times. You know, we encourage you guys to comment below and let us know what you guys want to know more about. We may not have all the answers, but at least we're going to point you in the right direction. And that's pretty much what it is. It's been tough for everyone, you know, keeping things light and positive. But the important thing is that we do it, you know, and I saw this today and I just started laughing, but it's true, you know. I mean,
Yes.
at the end of the day, you have to laugh at this after, of course, you've, you know, went through all your stages. But
Right,
at the
all
end,
the pains.
you know, once you have laughter, you know, it's acceptance, you know, and that's kind of what it is. And when I saw this, you know, it reminded me of stuff I've been saying already, of course, without the kidney stone. But it is true, you know. I wanted to end with, we know it's going to be hard going forward, you know, but like everything else, this too shall pass. You know, remember, we're all in this together. We're all here for you. Stay positive, and you got this, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.